how to effectively study takes practice and process of elimination. You may have to try several study methods before you find the right study method for you. It can take a while, sometimes months, to develop proper study skills. The most important study tip is to study on a regular basis. Don't wait until the night before the exam to study. Make sure that you fully understand the information. And choose a study tip that works best for you and use that study tip all of the time. The first study tip is rewrite your notes. You can rewrite your notes after your lecture. You can choose a particular day of the week to rewrite your notes. Next, read your book. You want to make sure you read your book before the lecture, and you can skim it after the lecture. Focus on the information that overlaps with lecture information. Remember, you only have a limited amount of time in the course, and your professor cannot teach all the information that is in the book. So focus on the information that overlaps with what they have taught. If you're pressed for time, focus on main ideas, figures, tables, the summary at the end of the chapter, in bold words. A very effective study tip is to view YouTube videos related to the topic. These videos are very colorful, they have music, they help you understand the information in a different way. The next study tip is view websites containing information related to the subject matter. Maybe you don't quite fully understand the information that's in the book. We'll search for that information online and find a website that explains the information in a simplified manner, and always refer to that website. The most effective type of studying is recalling the information and using critical thinking skills. This type of learning is referred to as active learning. To engage in active learning, follow these tips. Form study groups. Quiz each other on the material. Speak to each other by phone. Go to a virtual meeting. Text each other. But try to quiz each other so that you can thoroughly understand the information and that you know that you understand that information. The next thing you can do is create quizzes and exams to evaluate yourself. ClassMarker is a great tool that you can use. It is usually used by teachers to create assessments, exams, and quizzes for students, but you can also use it to create quizzes and exams that you can use to test yourself and the students that are in your study group. The next tip is create flashcards. Ankiapp is a great app that you can use to create flashcards. You can create your own. You can use the pre-made flashcards that are built into the app. The app is very advanced. As you study, the app records how well you perform on each flashcard. Then they use that information to prioritize the flashcards. So you study the things you don't know. You don't waste time studying the information that you already understand. You can even add audio and images to the flashcards to make them more fun. I will include the YouTube videos that will explain how to use ClassMarker and Ankiapp below. Studying should be done on a regular basis, but you can change some study habits the week of the exam and the day before the exam. These are some tips for the week before the exam. Take practice quizzes and exams. So the practice quizzes and exams that you've created, take those again the week before the exam. Also, the flashcards that you have created, study those. Email the professor. The week before the exam, more than likely you are studying, trying to understand the information. If you come across information that you don't fully understand, email the professor. Make sure you email the professor earlier in the week so you give them some time to respond. Also, don't spend too much time rereading all of the information in the book. Read the information that you're struggling to understand. Skim the book. Look at figures. Watch YouTube videos that are related to topics that you're struggling to understand. Tips for the day before the exam. The day before the exam, eat complex carbohydrates. Eat fruits and nuts that enable you to maintain a constant energy level throughout the day. You can also do this the day of the exam. Study those flashcards that you've made. Take those practice quizzes that you've created. Don't study too much. You've already been studying throughout the semester. Don't stress out too much. You will do well on your exam. There are several different types of learners. They include visual learners, auditory learners, and kinesthetic or hands-on learners. Visual learners prefer to read and view images. Auditory learners prefer to hear and listen to information such as recorded lectures. Kinesthetic learners prefer to learn by touch. Regardless of the type of learner that you are, follow the study methods that I mentioned. But you can also tailor your studying to the type of learner that you are. You can take a test that will tell you the type of learner that you are. I will include the link to that website below. You can take that test and that will help you develop better study tips based on the type of learner that you are. If you are a visual learner, one thing that you can do is rewrite your notes or type your notes. Focus on the concepts that you don't understand. Don't rewrite all of your notes. You can also read your book and focus on the images. Look at the figures, the images. Try to understand them. Take the practice quizzes and exams that you've created and create and use flashcards that contain many images, like you see on this flashcard above. You can create color-coded mnemonics. They aid in memory. One example of a mnemonic is oil rig. That's a mnemonic that's used in chemistry. It stands for oxidation involves losing, reduction involves gaining. You can even Google some mnemonics that are used for your particular subject matter. One other thing I do want to mention is watch YouTube videos that contain many images. Such as this video, it's a World War II video. It contains many images about World War II and European history. The next study tips are for auditory learners. You can listen to the lectures. If your professor has recorded lectures, listen to them. Rewrite your notes and speak them aloud. Rewrite them and speak them aloud. Use flashcards containing audio. Watch videos, listen to the videos, and you can create mnemonics and say them out loud. If you're a kinesthetic learner, you can create flashcards using index cards. So you can use index cards or paper and create flashcards so that you're studying in a tactile way. You can rewrite your notes, focus on concepts that you don't understand. Once again, you don't want to rewrite all of your notes, just focus on the topics that you don't understand. You can write your mnemonics on paper. Overall, the most important study tip is to study on a regular basis. You want to always use active learning when you're studying. Always try to understand the information. And the most important, or one of the most important study tips is don't stress out too much and don't put too much pressure on yourself. Thank you, and please subscribe to this channel.